Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg with Cloudcast Media, and I got to tell you something. This is a red letter day in the world of the Spotlight Show and Cloudcast. We've got with us our longtime friend, Jose Cruz, San Diego Council on Literacy. I'm even afraid to say how long we've been affiliated, Jose.
How you doing there, Drew?
I'm doing just fine over here, and honored to have just some of the stellar credit unions in our region who day in, day out, give back to this community. And we are here in this beautiful Mission Fed studio. Joining us is Neville Billimoria, Senior VP of Marketing and Community Relations for Mission Fed. How you doing there, Neville?
I am doing fantastic, Drew. Thanks.
Absolutely great. Joining us, Todd Lane, President and CEO of Cal Costa Credit Union. Todd, always good to see you.
Great seeing you, Drew.
All right, appreciate it. And then rounding out this group of phenomenal credit unions is Gloria Rogers, Vice President of School and Community Development for North Island Credit Union. How you doing there, Gloria?
Good morning, Drew. Excited to be here.
Good. And we are here. There was this event that happened at the official restaurant of Cloudcast Media at Yanni's Bar and Grill a while ago, and it was really nice. It was, recognizing some of the work we've been doing with podcasting, and my good friend Neville and Todd put their heads together and said, why don't we do something with the Council on Literacy? And Jose was out there shouting out their new relationship with United Way. And thanks to the amazing work of Todd and Neville, and then Gloria jumped in, we have a partnership that's focused on the second annual Financial Literacy Superheroes competition that the Council on Literacy is involved with. I'll start with you on Jose. What's that all about?
Well, this is about Money Matters and actually an application of literacy skills, which includes math. It's sometimes forgotten, even in literacy circles, that financial literacy is literacy. It is about functionality, and it's a very important thing. And one of those things sometimes that parents struggle with themselves, and then really struggle in terms of communicating with their children about things like budgeting and credit cards, and saving and giving to charities and all of those things. So after a bit of working with Mission Fed last year to come up with something new that would be engaging, we have the Financial Literacy Superheroes competition and a comic book theme, partnering also with the Comic-Con Museum for the awards. There's so much to say about it, but it's caught on, and we're so excited about our second year.
Right. Now, the Council on Literacy was founded in 1986 by my former boss's boss, Mrs. Helen Copley, and then Brian Bilberry was then a city councilman up in South County. And the council's just been doing great things with this very, very challenging effort with literacy on that. Jose, you've been there since almost day one or day one?
Well, minus 2 years. I mean, back in 1986, we were bringing the Council on Literacy together, and then I became the first employee back in 1988. I have 2 careers with the Council on Literacy, right. So I'm in my 30th year now.
Yeah, and that's all good. And of course, as you mentioned, literacy hits, whether it's financial literacy, whether it's health literacy, whether it's literacy in general, it's just so critical. And, to Neville Billimoria, who we knew when he first walked into San Diego, how many years ago?
I've been here for 21 years. My daughter just turned 21, so it's easy to keep score.
We're very, very good. And how long at Mission Fed?
21 years. That's
very good. So exactly, we met actually having an adult beverage when I was introduced by one of the senior VPs at Mission Fed, and it's been a wonderful relationship ever since. But Neville, this is in your core, as it is in Todd's and Gloria's as well. But talk about how important it is to work with your colleagues at other credit unions.
Yeah, I think there's 2 important aspects to this, which is why you call it a red letter day. The first is the fact that we're focused on a super important cause. And if we can work upstream on literacy, that's really going to, unfortunately, in society, demography still determines your destiny. And our ability to then help upskill and create a better future for the next generation, I think that's the values and cause that is super important, right? That's the first piece. The second piece, which I'm totally jacked about being in this room with all you guys, is the credit unions collaborating together. We're putting some movement in the credit union movement. We're modeling collaboration rather than competition. So the combination of those two things, both what we're doing and how we're doing it, makes me today feel super happy.
Good. And if this could be a model where Cloudcast now can take to the construction builders or to the media companies or to look at these credit unions, we're certainly very competitive. That's fine, but competition is good for everybody. They're working together for this great cause of literacy. Maybe this can be the start of other industries doing the same thing.
Again, the Stanford Social Innovation Trust suggested that collective impact, if you're going to address seemingly long-term intractable problems, you can't do it by yourself. The myth of individualism, it's hard for me to say, it has been debunked. And so if you really want to get spit done, you got to work with other people.
Right, exactly. So, Todd Lane, happy to say that I've been involved with California Coast probably before you were born. In that aspect, Todd is the president and CEO of Cal Coast. Talk about the importance of this relationship, of course, with your other colleagues in credit unions, and just Cal Coast's history has been just huge in this space.
Absolutely, Drew. And just to take off on what Neville said, in our credit union space, we call this co-op-itition. So we cooperate and yet we compete with each other. And I will tell you, the San Diego market is a credit union market. So all of San Diego County, Riverside, Orange County, great credit unions here. And it makes me very happy that we're getting together on this. As you know, Neville and my family have been impacted by literacy or illiteracy.
That's right.
As it turns out. And as you know, we are the San Diego credit unions are very much invested in financial literacy, financial wellness. Financial wellness and financial literacy is very much tied into our physical health. And so it's important that we get together and we take this head on.
Well, that's such a great, comment, and we all know this. Stress levels in this world, certainly in this country, and definitely our region has been absolutely exploding areas, and almost deadly. You turn around mental health. We can't turn around without talking about mental health, and you're spot on that, Todd. And I know Gloria, you and your terrific team work on this all the time, and we're just very grateful of your work. Certainly in literacy and career pathways is a big one for you as well. But talk about this relationship.
Yeah, so we're really excited to jump on board, as Jose mentioned, when we heard about this financial literacy competition with the superheroes. We wanted to make sure that the community here in San Diego knows that North Island is proud to support our students with financial literacy and personal finance. And just kind of going back to what you're saying in regards to personal health, there's so much we can do when the financial world as credit unions together to really make an impact, to really serve our members and the community overall. Really proud to be able to do various impacts in the community, partnering with different organizations, whether that be in the education world, in our service members, just various organizations that we can really bring this to the community and make a big impact.
One of the things that I've been just so impressed with certainly all of you folks on this is that you do not do checkbook philanthropy. When you guys get involved, you are knee-deep in this. So we'll see Todd and his wonderful bride, Christy Bruce Lane, and then folks like the inimitable Bob Scheid in charge of PR for Cal Coast. Neville, your whole team is out at everything all the time. And the same thing, Gloria, we see you folks. So it's not just, here's your check, we'll talk to you in about a year. It is, we're going to be knee-deep. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and you were listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We are in this beautiful Mission Fed studio here in Scripps Ranch, and Mission Fed has been doing great things in San Diego for 60 years now, joined by their colleagues, Todd Lane, President and CEO of California Coast Credit Union, joined by Neville Billimoria, Senior VP of Marketing and Community Relations for Mission Fed Credit Union, Gloria Rogers, Vice President in School and Community Development for North Island Credit Union. I'm going to tee this one over to you to start, Todd, and then you jump in on this, Neville and Gloria as well. We had talked about, how important it is to teach financial literacy, and there's no too young of a stage to do that with. Is that right, Todd?
Exactly. And you know what? It's not done on a regular basis in our school system, which is amazing. I was looking at some of the legislation that were in this session in Sacramento in our state legislature, and there are many, many bills about financial literacy and getting it into the school system, but today it's not required. There's not a required curriculum. So the credit unions really take that on, and we have some great credit unions in this room. San Diego is a credit union marketplace, as I mentioned earlier. And for our part, we do many things. You mentioned it's not too early to start. We are doing it with grade school kids and various organizations around town, all the way up through college kids and young adults, even after college. It's very important. We're doing it through partnerships with the city of San Diego. We just put a financial wellness center in the communities that need it most in partnership, again, with the city of San Diego. We put a financial wellness center in Logan Heights in what's called the Promise Zone. A low-income community, communities of color, they need this the most. It's very important that we help them get on the right track at an early stage.
Yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. Again, we're chatting with our friends from different credit unions, and Jose Cruz, CEO of the San Diego Council on Literacy, and the second annual Financial Literacy Superheroes Competition. Before we tee it back over to Gloria and Neville, is the competition on a certain day? How does this work?
Actually, we're accepting entries now all the way to March 31st. That's Friday, March 31st. And individuals, young people ages 4 through 17 can submit an artwork that is comic book themed and delivers a financial literacy message. So it's whatever your skill level is with art. Mine is not very good. There are a lot of great artists out there, young artists, and you should have seen the submissions last year, and we're looking forward to the 2023 bunch. Yeah,
I won an award for being the best stick figure drawer in the world. Just kidding. I did not win an award for that, an aspect of it. They probably bounced me out of the competition. And, of course, the sponsors of the event mentioned Mission Fed, Cal Coast, and North Island, the Union Tribune, Kaiser, Neversmith Tucker, PR, San Diego Public Library, and the Comic-Con Museum, and more. Sort of jumping on, Gloria, what Todd had said, teaching this financial literacy. You've got young kids, do you not?
I do.
That's
I have
right.
a 10-year-old and 8-year-old.
And how much do you teach them financial literacy?
I'm very blessed in our household. We talk about money. We talk the importance of personal finance. And I'll say this, during COVID, when we're working remotely, I did a lot of financial literacy remotely. And my children were listening. I didn't realize they were listening to me when I was doing these virtual presentations. And my son runs over when I'm done, and he says, "Mom, I know the difference between debit and credit." And I said, "Do you?" I said, "Share." And so he was like, "Oh, debit, you're using your own money, and credit, you have to borrow, but you have to be a good person to borrow." So I kind of explained a little bit about credit score and so forth, but it was a proud moment for me.
No, there's the street cred right there. And Neville, how about you? Congratulations on your daughter's 21st birthday. I know you went back to Florida, but the same in your family too.
Well, as Todd referred, both of us have kids that had some struggles with learning and right. Reading in particular. My daughter's a person with dyslexia. And as a result, I became super attenuated to how challenging it can be if you're neurodiverse to learn what for some comes quite easily.
Right.
She's an empath off the scale. So there's other skills that she has that are just ridiculous. But there's some areas that are challenging for her. I think to riff off of Todd's comments about the Promise Zone in Logan Heights, we're moving into a world where it's not about degrees, it's about skills. And it's not just about skills in the world of work, there's life skills. And if you are going to create a hierarchy of life skills, financial literacy certainly should be up at the very top of that list. And when Gallup, that wrote a book based on 20 years of research and looking at well-being, the predicate for all of that was financial well-being. So while the other things are super important, if you don't have that does lead to stress and anxiety and a host of other downstream impacts, right? So again, the why behind all this work is to foster life skills that are going to equip young people to have well-being, not just survive. We want them to thrive. And so to add, so in that context, is this financial literacy? Yes. Is it financial well-being? Yes. It is. Is it wellness? Yes. It's also financial inclusion. And so how do we ensure that everybody, including our most underestimated brothers and sisters, get that opportunity? I think if that's the construct in which I'm hopeful that we can move the needle working collaboratively.
Good. We're going to chat about that when we come back from a break. We're chatting with our good friends at these wonderful credit unions, Neville, Billimoria, Senior VP of Marketing and Community Relations for Mission Fed, Todd Lane, President and CEO of CalCoast Credit Union, Gloria Rogers, Vice President of School and Community Development for North Island Credit Union, and, of course, Jose Cruz, the CEO of the San Diego Council on Literacy, chatting about the second annual Financial Literacy Superheroes Competition. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg with Cloudcast Media, and you are listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union in these great studios here in Scripps Ranch. And Mission Fed doing wonderful things for San Diegans for 60 years, joined by Jose Cruz, CEO of the San Diego Council on Literacy, Neville Billimoria from Mission Fed, Todd Lane, CalCoast, and Gloria Rogers from North Island Credit Union, talking about the Council on Literacy's second annual Financial Literacy Superheroes competition. And Jose, you have another edition of the sponsor.
A fourth credit union came in thanks to our advocates from the credit unions, and that's My Point Credit Union. And so glad to have them as part of the supporters of this event.
Right. So, Gloria, I'm going to start with you on this, and it's something that Neville was talking about, and Todd is giving everybody a playing field. You know, it doesn't make a difference who you are, what you look like, where you came from, and all that business. Listen, we all come into the world the same. And so now this is a way we can level the playing field. But talk about, it's something that's pretty common when we interview our friends in the financial industry. How important is saving money? And you can't start $5 a month. If that's all you can do, then do $5 a month.
Yeah, the concept of saving money, I mean, it's an idea that we feel that everybody should be able to do, no matter what your background is, your economic situation. We always encourage everyone, to put $1 away if you can. It makes a difference. And more importantly, it's about the education piece of the financial literacy, because people may not understand the importance of saving for emergencies, just saving for the future, setting goals and so forth. And that's part of all financial literacy, right? It's just educating people the importance of money and what does that mean. So I think it's you can't stress it enough, and it's a concept that's never going to go away. Whether it's from a savings account, checking account, or investments, there's lots to learn, and it's always evolving.
Right into what Todd was talking about before, the mental health aspect. We're already stressed enough in this world here, but Todd, nothing better than when you sort of look at your savings account and oh my goodness, I got some money in it.
You know what? As Gloria said, it's essential, and understanding the difference between a need and a want is at the foundation of that, and these great credit unions teach that every day, and it sounds very simple, housing and transportation and energy, that those are needs. Those aren't wants. The wants are the 85-inch flat screen TV, and just teaching that and teaching them how to save, regardless of your income level, is just absolutely critical. That rainy day always comes. It always comes, and we need to be prepared for it. And by and large, Drew, our U.S. households are not ready for it. Most people don't have $600 in savings for that rainy day, for whatever happens in their life that they need to draw money. So they end up going to get credit, and they get into this vicious circle.
Right.
And financial inclusion is just absolutely critical. Everybody needs access to mainstream financial services, not a check cashing outlet, not a payday lender. I hope they're not your sponsors, but they need
not now.
They need access to mainstream financial services. They need access to credit unions, and that's what, again, the great credit unions in San Diego bring that mainstream financial access to everybody, and then teach them about it.
Yeah, no question about that, Neville. I know you'd agree 100% with what Todd just said.
Absolutely. So if we were creating a little piggy bank bucket, there's 4 categories, right? There's saving, spending, investing, and donating. And saving is all about pay yourself first, and 2 words, compound interest. So your ability to do that early is going to make a huge difference.
That's right.
There's plenty of data to support that. Spending, obviously, spend wisely on the needs and wants. Invest, because ideally you want to get a return on your investment. And donate is actually you're giving back, right? Not, to your point, not checkbook philanthropy. You can donate your time. There's other ways you can donate. But that right balance of all those 4 categories, I'm simplifying it, I guess, but that's okay. I'm a simple guy. That is
Far from it.
What we're trying to do.
Yeah, no, that's spot on. And Jose, everything that Todd and Gloria and Neville are talking about just ties beautifully into the world you're in with the folks that you tutor. And that's a pretty big number. How many folks do you reach every year?
About 100,000 residents of all ages, and the services are provided at no cost by our network of 34 affiliated programs. I just wanted to share a quote, by the way, and it reminded me of it. And I don't even know where I heard it. Being rich is a thing. You don't get rich by what you make, you get rich by what you save. And I've loved that, and I've thought about it. So, holy smokes, I wonder. And it's true, So it's a simple lesson, but one that still needs to be reinforced.
Well, you really can't reinforce it enough. So, Jose, again, how do people sign up for the 2nd Annual Financial Literacy Superheroes Competition?
There's different ways to get the information. They can go to the San Diego Council on Literacy website, literacysandiego.org. And then we are distributing posters next week, and these will appear in the different credit union business offices at the Comic-Con Museum. And then we have help from Nuffer Smith Tucker and a few other partners out there that are very active at San Diego Public Library and getting the information out and increasing the number of entries that we received this year.
No, that sounds great. What I want to do is go around the room here and just briefly ask every one of our great credit unions here, how do they get a hold of you? You folks offer great workshops on financial literacy. You offer support in every which way on this. How do they get a hold of you? And I'll start with you on that, Todd.
There are endless things that credit unions provide. Our credit union, we have ties to the education community, and so we also have a foundation that gives back to the education community, teachers, teacher grants, that sort of thing. So I think, Drew, the best way to get hold of us and see everything that we do, including free financial counseling, by the way, that's very important that everybody understand that credit unions do financial counseling one-on-one, and it's free. I mean, what better service can you provide? But it's calcoastcu.org. So calcoastcu.org is the best place to go, and we'll help you out. Or give us a call. Call our 800 number. It's also on the website. That's the best place to get connected, and we will embrace you and hold your hand throughout the entire process, regardless of what level you're at. You may be a sophisticated investor or somebody who's just new to this. We'll help you, either way.
Well stated, Neville.
Yeah, good question. Same answer, different website. But ultimately, it's like the question that our young folks ask, what's the best school or what's the best college for me? There's no best school or best college. It's the best one that fits you.
Right.
So click, call, come by, visit any of our brethren, sister credit unions. Leverage the trusted advisor framework we have, which is to educate, inform, and advise you. We're a not-for-profit, which means that we're not beholden to stockholders. We're in service of our member owners. And we hope that you're able to take benefit of that, because if it's easy to do, it's easy not to do.
Without question, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to your CFO. He was spectacular. His Doug Wright. He sits on the executive committee of the San Diego Council on Literacy and has been able to just give some great advice on the many times he's been on the show too. So please pass on our thanks to him as well.
I'll make him listen to this episode.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be tortured by that. No, he does a great job on that. And Gloria, you folks do the same.
Yeah, we just want to let people know that they have options when it comes to personal finance, banking, etc. We want them to know that they can visit any of our local credit unions. We encourage the credit union family where we work together. We're, as we mentioned, cooperative, and we're here with people helping people. That's our motto. And anybody can visit our 10 locations within San Diego County. They can walk into our branches, just ask for information. You don't have to be a member. If you're just inquiring, we welcome you. If you want to visit us online, you can do so at northisland.ccu.com, or you can even follow us on social media. We do Facebook and Instagram at North Island CU.
I got to tell you something here from a personal standpoint, and I can get to have the final word. These three folks, Todd, Neville, and Gloria, and their colleagues and their institutions, they change lives. They change lives 24/7, 365. And the beauty of it, what these folks have done throughout the years, I've been honored to work with them in many different fronts, is yes, they may be dealing with this person that has some need, but think about when they support that person, the tentacles they have. Now you're supporting that person's brother, sister, aunt, uncle, siblings, and all that. So I want to say, on behalf of Cloudcast Media and me personally, Drew Schlosberg, to Todd and Neville and to Gloria, keep up that unbelievable work. Of course, you don't need me to say that. You're going to do that anyway. The impact you have is absolutely huge. The tentacles are wide, and all of you are just making San Diego County and our region a great place to do, and I'm just so honored that you came on the show. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Drew.
You bet. We've been chatting. Yeah, well, absolutely, our pleasure. We've been chatting with Neville Billimoria, SVP of Marketing Community Relations for Mission Fed Credit Union, Todd Lane, President and CEO of Cal Coast Credit Union, and Gloria Rogers, Vice President of School and Community Development for North Island Credit Union, joined by my longtime friend and colleague, Jose Cruz, CEO of the San Diego Council on Literacy. Look up the second annual Financial Literacy Superheroes Competition. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community show on Cloudcast Media, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, doing great things in San Diego for 60 years. Hope you enjoyed the program.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.